and welcome back to Visit Fylde Coast. This is Squires Gate Lane, and this is a railway line that we're going over, and we're going down Squires Gate Lane because we're going to Hangar 42. We're going to the Spitfire Visitor Centre, so I may get lost. Me and my sense of direction. I don't think it's that one. No, it's not that one. It's not that one. It must be this one. Yeah, it's this one. So you go down the side of the pub and you go around the industrial estate because it's in one of the old hangars at the back. So before we get there, before we get lost, I thought I'd just show you the way into the attraction. Don't forget, make sure that you've subscribed, make sure that you've hit the little bell for notifications, make sure that you've signed up for your Visit Fylde Coast email newsletter. Get it at visitfyldecoast.info/newsletter. And when these lights change to green, we're going to turn right and we're going to go around the back of Blackpool Airport. And we're going to Hangar 42, which is one of the hangars that was built for the RAF at the onset of World War II. And it's a bit of a living history centre, so it's all about the Spitfires and the part that they and the RAF played in helping to win the Second World War. Now, a few people that have been, I've never been myself, it's as new to me as it is to you, and apparently it's absolutely fascinating. So we'll go and see what we can see. Hangar 42, I believe it's around here. Is it? Let's have a look. Yes, Hangar 42. So it's down this way. It's down this way somewhere. Spitfire Visitor Centre. There you go. I found it. Free parking as well, so that's quite easy to find, isn't it? So straightforward. Look, they've got some signs up. Straightforward to Hangar 42. We're just following the signs for the Spitfire. So this is where we park up. Look, follow the signs. Spitfire Visitor Centre, follow the arrows. So we're obviously going this way around this corner. Oh, now then. Oh, the thing's blown over, look. It's that windy, it's blown that over. It's absolutely blowing a gale today. How they're flying helicopters, I do not know. It's a wonder they're even managing to do anything. So, this was built in 1939 for the RAF. This looks like some of the lads. This looks like some of the volunteers keeping out of my way. And we've got a sign here, look, for Berlin, 686 miles, Duxford, 178. We can go to Arnhem in 418. That's clever, that. Like that. Now then, which way am I going here? Which way am I going? Follow the yellow brick road. It must be this one down here. Look at the windows all taped up like they used to do in the whoa, that's clever. Like that. Visitors must report to guard room. Right, so Liverpool when it says push. Hello! Hello, I made it. I got here eventually. So when you come in, this is the little shop, little ramp, so it's accessible. No problems for people that have got disabilities, etc. And this is the little shop, so there's a little range of various different types of merchandise and things to support their fundraising campaigns and t-shirts and and whatnot. And I have to say, this is really, really atmospheric, and apparently this is the picture that started it all off, because you probably know that there is a Spitfire memorial at Fairhaven Lake between St Anne's and Lytham, which is this one here. And John Coombs, the chairman, he raised the money to get that installed, because that photograph fell out of some archives that he was looking at in the basement of St Anne's Town Hall. So that photograph is literally what kicked everything off. And then when the Spitfire had been installed, one thing led to another, as it does, and they ended up with a full-blown museum. But definitely worth... Oh, here we go, look, you can have a bullet. You can have an inert bullet. So admission is £10 for an adult, children £6, and then there's a family ticket as well. But I think you'll agree when you've looked round that it's definitely worth the money. So this is the wonderful world that awaits you when you come inside. It's an original 1939 hangar, and it was the first one that was built for the RAF in Blackpool. And this is all original. I opened the door and I came in and I went, wow, because it really is. It's just like stepping back in time. So the guys have done a series of exhibits that sit all the way around all of the walls, that are all full of all these original old photographs. And you won't have seen these on Facebook either. These are all from private collections and the Gazette and things like that. It's operated by volunteers. That's one that's escaping down there. And there's about 70 of them that keep this place running. And it's open Saturdays, Mondays and Tuesdays from 10 while 4. And the important thing about this is that it's an amazing Blackpool collection with all kinds of historical memorabilia. And well, it's just fascinating. If you're interested in that period in the 1940s, you need to come here. But in order to survive and to carry on operating, they also need to get 10,000 visitors a year. So please come and please have a look round. It's absolutely fascinating. This is one of the operations rooms. So when you come for a look round, you'll get volunteers in here which are explaining everything and showing you how Blackpool would have operated and what would have been happening at Squires Gate Airport, at the RAF station during flying raids and all the rest of it. Look at Delilah over there, look, with a pointer. And I've always been fascinated by these things and how they actually understood what would be going off. So it's not just a case of coming in and absorbing the atmosphere and getting kind of the gist of it. It's also brought to life by what all the volunteers are telling you as well. There's some more of the photographs and the exhibits, and there's loads of original pieces of equipment and things as well. They're doing a campaign to rebuild the last plane that Amy Johnson flew when she went down. So this is a model of it. This is a model of what she went down in, and it's apparently quite a rare plane. And this I thought was particularly interesting. This is the NAFI. So in here you can have a cup of tea or coffee and you can wet your whistle, and it's just like walking back into my early childhood years. As I said to John, I mean, I was born in 1969, and I remember old people when I was a little girl having this kind of furniture and this kind of house. So to me, this is quite nostalgic. Younger people would have never seen that kind of thing in reality. So you can come in there and have a biscuit and a cup of tea. And it's all the real deal as well. It's all where the RAF people worked from and would have been actually operating from. So this is the Lancashire Aircraft Investigation Team, and this is a set of aviation archaeologists who work with and for the Spitfire Museum. And all of this is all aircraft wreckage that's actually been dug out of the floor. When he said it had been dug out, I thought he meant, you know, like you dig something out of a cupboard. And I found one of these type of thing. It's literally been dug out of the floor. Fascinating. He said that people quite often will say, oh, we've come for half an hour, we'll have a look round. Oh, confirmed killings. Is this how many mice you've killed? 1,111?
I think it's 4.
4? Oh, exaggeration. People come for like half an hour and then just stopping for 2 and 3 hours at a time. This is John Coombs. I'll introduce you to him shortly. So this is one of the other operations teams. Do you work here full time then?
No, we're all volunteers.
I know you're all volunteers.
I do 4 days a week.
Well, no, so you're just about full time.
Yeah.
Just about, but not quite. So this is the briefing room. This is where you will be given your instructions of where you were going and where your flying sortie was going to take you. So bear in mind that these are all young lads that are learning to fly Spitfires, and that have had a few hours training, and then they'd have been chucked in a Spitfire and told to crack on. Frightening, absolutely frightening, really is. Now, can you remember these? I had a bag just like that I used to take my books to school in. So tell me again, John. This is John Coombs, the man at the back of it. You must be the ringleader.
I'm the chairman.
You're the ringleader.
Yeah, absolutely, I am.
So this is where the young lads would be told where to go and who to aim at.
That's it. This is the mission room for the night's operations. So they're all night fighter operations here.
Right. Okay.
So the lads are learning what the weather's going to be like on the day. Who's going with who?
Windy and windy.
Windy, dark and dark. Who's going to be flying with who on the night, and what the mission is going to be.
Right.
So mainly Liverpool Blitz, May 1941 is what we're depicting this year.
Wow, goodness me. Yeah. When you're 19 and you think you're invincible. And this is what did you say this was called? A scramble hut. I called it a shed, which is obviously not right. And these little huts would have been all over on the airfield. So they'd have a little stove in them and a couple of sort of ramshackle chairs and a little bit of a desk. And then the lads would have waited in here out on the airfield, and as soon as the siren went up, they would have been off and into the planes, and then setting off on their flying sortie. Right, so we've got loads more information, and then we come to the simulator. So this is operated by the Raven Cockpits people, and they've developed this. So this is a Messerschmitt simulator, which is not quite working just yet, but will be very soon. This is the people that operate it. But this is a simulator for a Lancaster bomber. So you can actually get in this and you can sit and fly a bombing raid over Germany. I'm gonna wiggle my way in. So it's quite sort of small and cramped. So you get the screen and you get the experience of flying over Germany. Let me reverse out backwards. This is extra to your admission price, so that's an extra £5 for that, which I think is very reasonable. And this is the world's only simulator, full-size simulator of a Spitfire plane. This is not available at a weekend. This is on a normal Monday, Tuesday and Saturday visit. This is done separately on special sessions, because obviously you need to be, it's more sort of one-to-one, and you need to be in the dark, and you need to have time to be able to do it. So this is £140 for an hour's session, but you actually get into the cockpit and sit in the seat, and as you fly the plane, they tell you how to fly the plane. You get the sight of where you're going on the screen in front of you, and this is all done actually in the World War II gear. So you get all the stuff, you get the life jacket, you get the bomber jacket, you get the hat and the goggles and everything, and you will actually become a pilot for an hour. That's £140 for an hour, but that is, as I said, pretty much one-on-one, and it's a quite intense and quite sort of personalised experience. I would imagine very much worth it as well. I would imagine it's fascinating. Amazing collection. You really need to come and have a look. I can see why you'd be here 2 or 3 hours. So that's the Spitfire that was actually on going roundabout, and it's having a bit of tender loving care because the sea air had played havoc with its gubbins. There's quite a few different planes of different types on display within the hangar. Another ton of pictures and things to look at. I've never seen any of these before. I mean, you know, you're in the kind of past groups on Facebook and you see lots of stuff, but I've never seen any of these. They're all completely different. This is a Hurricane. And then when you get round this corner, there's all of the displays of armoury and the equipment and the guns and the bullets and all the stuff that they used in Blackpool during the time of World War II, because Blackpool was a major area for the RAF. In fact, the whole town was redesignated RAF Station Blackpool. Separate to that, there was RAF Station Squires Gate and RAF Station Stanley Park. The town was absolutely full of RAF activity. Major site of everything to do with the war. So the people that were stationed here were being taught how to load ammunition and maintain all this equipment. And this is all explained on these storyboards, which are around the outside edge of the museum. Just looking at this little Jeep, which obviously they managed to find a little space for in this corner, the fundraising to collect £200,000. And the reason that they're doing that is because they're wanting to build an extension, and I think it's down that direction. And in that extension, they're wanting to put the replica plane that Amy Johnson flew, all of the vehicles, all of the bits and bobs. They've had to sell some equipment because they've not got space to actually store it inside and keep it on display, which is a crying shame. I mean, when you think that the people of Blackpool bought 3 Spitfires, and imagine what that must have cost relative to their income, and the people that are collecting and saving all this wartime memorabilia, all they want to do is to build one little shed So, you know, relatively, it's not such a big ask, is it? So come along to the Spitfire Museum. You can come and sit in this cockpit. This is another collecting exercise. You can sit in here, and for £5, you can sit in the seat and you can get lots of photographs and lots of selfies. I looked in there and I said to John, that's absolutely amazing. Just imagine you're kind of 18, 19 years old. Nobody's been out to show you how to use this plane because there's only room for one in it. There's no passenger space. So you put in there, you get kind of 10 hours flying experience, and then you're off facing the Germans. It must have been terrifying. It must have been absolutely terrifying. So come along and come and sit in the cockpit and get your photograph taken, and then you can help them to raise the money for the extension. Is the extension going that way?
That side there.
Yeah. So is the plan to join it to this building, or would it be separate?
Yeah, you'd walk through the simulation area there and straight
Oh, I see.
into the,
Right.
straight
Yeah.
into the new hangar there.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. And then, of course, the challenge is how you make a brand new modern hangar look like 1940. Block.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think...
Get your green paint out.
We'll worry about that when it happens.
Yeah, yeah. Did you say it was this Hawker Hurricane that had been to D-Day?
No, Lucy
this
here,
one, yeah.
And the Vicky behind.
Yeah,
immediately behind.
yeah. So these two have just been at Normandy for the 80th celebration of the D-Day landings. Stop right now. So Valerie Ann is 80 years old and started first time. I bet there's not many modern vans that can actually say that. Unfortunately, due to lack of space, these original working vehicles have all got to be stored outside at the moment. And we've just been saying, if you've got a modern car and you keep it outside, the harsh, salty sea air doesn't exactly do much for the bodywork, does it? And that's why it's really important that they get this extension built to the hangar. It's definitely well worth a visit. Definitely well worth a visit. And this is a Messerschmitt 109. Apparently this is the only one in Britain, so if you want to see this rare and unique plane, you've got to come to Blackpool to do it. You've got to come to Blackpool to do it. Just imagine that coming at you. And 3 hours later, we're back at the shop. You exit through the shop. Make sure you get your merchandise on the way past. If you've really enjoyed it, you could pop them a donation in the donation box. I love the way that they've got everything set out. It's really well done, honestly. And then back out through the masking tape window. Of course, they did that so that if the windows broke when the bombs were dropped, they wouldn't end up smashing everywhere and broken glass all over the place. So I do hope you've enjoyed that as much as I did. That was fascinating, really interesting, well worth a visit. You definitely need to come and have a look. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bye for now.